Hello and welcome to Melting Pot of Flavors. Today, we'll be exploring where diversity came from. So, we'll be exploring South Africa. Joining me is Liese Cheney from South Africa. Hello, Liese.
Hi, Rowena.
Yes, can you please greet our viewers first in South African dialect?
Good morning, Goeiemorgen, Sawubona.
Okay.
English, Afrikaans, and Zulu.
Okay. Can you? So, which part of South Africa are you from?
I'm originally from the Western Cape, so Cape Town,
Okay.
which most will argue is the most beautiful part of South Africa. But Zulu itself is actually a Durban language.
Okay. Now, let's go to what you're going to present to us. What are you going to prepare to us today?
So I'm cooking a family favorite. It's apricot chicken, but it is infused with Rooibos tea.
And this is the first time I'm going to experience a dish that main ingredient is the tea.
Yes, so the tea itself is quite a, you should smell it. It's quite a full-bodied tea.
Okay.
And as you heat it up, it doesn't contain caffeine, it's really aromatic, and it just lends itself so well to cuisine.
Okay. So what is the dish that you're going to?
It's an apricot chicken infused with Rooibos tea.
Okay. Is this like a traditional dish that we serve in special occasions, or it's like an everyday dish?
So this is more of an everyday dish. It's something that we just cook during the week. It's fast to prepare, it's easy, and it's light.
Okay. And then I've noticed we have apricot jam here.
Yes. So apricots are used very heavily in South African cooking.
Right.
If it's not in the form of apricot jam, we use it in our chutneys. We use it as a whole fruit, dried fruits. It's normally in the dried fruit variety.
Right.
But apricots themselves are grown in abundance in the Western Cape because of the temperate climates.
Okay. So again, let's identify our ingredients now. So we have chicken.
We have chicken. You could use 4 pieces of chicken. I've used the legs because this is what I could find at the shops. Okay. We have orange juice, so this is freshly squeezed orange juice, which will go well with the apricots. We've got salt and pepper. We've got some cream, which I've added in. It's not a traditional part of the dish. Chicken stock, chicken salt, paprika, Italian herbs, oregano, and Rooibos tea. And then we use capsicums and sugar snaps, ginger, chilies, carrots, and onions, and garlic.
Okay, so I've noticed that you're using citrus or orange juice as well in your dish.
The orange juice adds the sweetness and it brings out some flavors in the Rooibos tea, which are more of the fruity notes. Oranges are used a lot in South African cuisine.
Okay.
That is because they grow abundantly within the Western Cape.
Saying that, the chicken doesn't need marinating anymore, right?
I marinate the chicken. I cook the recipe differently every time I do it.
So this is actually your own recipe?
It's adapted from one of our South African chefs, Neni.
Okay.
So it's adapted from one of her dishes, and I've just added our family favorite changes to it.
Of course, personal touch. Okay, with that being said, let's go right to cooking.
Today I will be talking about a casual setting. This is mostly used in bigger families with kids, and this will be the simplest designing for our casual table. It will be basic utensils, fork, knife, and a spoon. And then we will have a single glass, and we will have 2 plates, depending on the food we're gonna eat. Most likely we will have 1 plate in here, and then the second one will be soup or salad we will be using. And then you will have the tissue be organized. And mostly, if you wanted to have it look more elegant, you can add mats under it or liners, as you see here. First of all, this is a casual setting. We will add a fork on the side to make it formal to one side, and then we add more knives, a smaller knife and smaller spoon to make it more formal. And in front of the plate, we will add a smaller spoon or fork. This will make it more formal. And then we will add it extra water glass or another glass to make it more formal. And then the plates, we will add more plates to make it more formal. And of course, the tablecloth is very important. It should match with your plates. That will be nice to the eyes. And this will be a perfect, a formal table for all of you.
Dinner is served! Ta-da! This is our apricot chicken. Okay, so what distinct flavor are we looking for?
You're going to get a bit of a freshness, citrusy notes, a little bit of sweetness, and it'll be quite a clean tasting dish.
Okay, so verdict. Let's start. So we'll just slice a bit of the chicken here. Oh, it's so tender. Like, how many minutes have you were you boiling this?
It cooks for about 25 minutes.
Okay.
Until your chicken is cooked.
You can actually taste the sweetness, and as you've said, the citrusy, the orange flavor in there. Chicken is so tender. So basically, while I'm we're tasting your chicken here. South African dish is when you say South African dish, what's the distinct flavor?
It depends on the region, really. So most South African dishes are predominantly red meat heavy.
Okay.
And South Africans in general just love to braai, which is essentially like a barbecue with wood. So dependence on the region, it's always going to normally have red meats.
Okay.
But because our family live closer to the coast, we normally eat a lot more chicken and fish.
Okay, chicken and fish. And if I were to go to a restaurant, say I'm going to South Africa and would like to order an authentic, traditional South African dish, what could you recommend?
I think you'd probably find pap and vleis on the menu, which is like a porridge with meat.
Right.
Or you could try something like bobotie, which is a Cape Malay influenced dish, which is kind of like a meatloaf. But in South Africa in general, like if you were going to the Western Cape, I'd recommend trying our fish.
Fish. Okay. And while we finish this very, I find it comforting. It looks like, it feels like a sort of a comfort food. So before we start digging in and finishing off your apricot chicken, I'd like to leave everyone. First, thank you very much, Liese, for your time and sharing us your recipe. How do you say thank you in South African dialect?
Well, you would say thank you, donkey. or in Kosi, which will be in Kosa.
And Kosa. Okay. And Kosa. Thank you so much, Liesel, and we hope to we hope that you will join us next time for maybe a vegan pastry.
Maybe. Who knows?
Okay, and with that is our melting pot of flavor episode for today. As I always say, eat well, live well, but don't forget to love the taste of food that you eat. Bon appetit.